let's move on to wide receiver. Maverick, better or worse than last year before they got Emmanuel Sanders?
Well, I would just my biggest thing is there anyone that you would bet your life savings on that you're confident they would play 14 games this year? Because there's no one I think could play more than I'd be confident would play more than half the games. Anyone having a 10-game injury, I wouldn't be shocked. But that's basically how it was last year also. So I'd say they're better because if Deebo does come back, they know they do have a number 1-2 receiver right there.
No.
Sure.
They're exponentially better than they were in any year under Kyle Shanahan. And it's not because they have any immediate impact players there yet, but there's a lot of potential, a lot of promise there that these wide receiver coaches are going to have to get out of them. Miles Austin, Wes Welker, they're going to try to configure. And we talked about, I believe, last time too, on this on this round table where we talked about how they're trying to build the offense with slot receiver in mind primarily. So there's a bunch of interchangeable pieces there. Trent Taylor, Jalen Hurd, they can be healthy, but like Maverick said, can we even trust that? Assuming it is good, then this wide receivers are dramatically. It's the dramatically most improved I see it than any other position.
Yeah. So they're not going to be better week 1 with Deebo being sidelined. That's not an argument. But Grant's going to like this. It is better because last season, Dante Pettis was expected to be wide receiver 1.
And Marquise Goodwin was supposed to be wide receiver
2.
Now he's wide receiver none.
And now Marquise Goodwin's in Philadelphia and Dante Pettis is fighting for maybe wide receiver 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. So absolutely, this group got a lot better, and they have more intriguing players. Seeing what Jalen Hurd did last preseason, and then you're going to have Deebo come back into the season, and then you drafted Brandon Aiyuk with the first round, who's a hell of a talent. Yes, they got better.
No. I'm going to kind of steer this question a little bit. So purely looking from last camp to this camp, yes, they're better at receiver. We can all agree on that. But let's face it, expectations have changed. This is no longer a team on the come up. This is a team that's coming off a Super Bowl appearance. Mm-hmm. And I was an advocate for signing Antonio Brown. Yes, he just retired again. But before he announced that retirement, I was an advocate that the 49ers should target Antonio Brown because I just don't feel as a team fighting for a Super Bowl championship that you should be content with a bunch of unknowns at the wide receiver position. The one stable receiver you had was Deebo Samuel. Outside of Deebo Samuel, there is nothing but question marks. Kendrick Bourne, can he be a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 in Samuel's absence? Jalen Hurd, Trent Taylor, Dante Pettis. I can go on and on and on and argue the best ability is availability, and that's nothing those guys have offered. I just don't know how a Super Bowl team can feel comfortable with the wide receivers they have, knowing Samuel's sidelined. They're extremely young. You know, they have the sky's the limit with their potential. Oh my goodness, the potential it's the key word. But you have to be able to differentiate potential in reality. And until we see them reach their potential, I'm not fully buying in that this is as tremendous of a wide receiver group as everybody hopes it can be. Again, it can be extremely good, but they just got to prove it on Sundays, and they can't be out there on the sidelines wearing street clothes. They have to prove it, you know? So I'm kind of pumping the brakes on the 49ers receiving core as we're looking at the team through the Super Bowl lens.
I'm with Nick. To me, it seems like basically they're in the same position they were in last year, where they have young, promising wide receivers. They hope step up before the trade deadline. Last year, none of them really did before then, so they felt compelled to make an all-in win-now move that didn't hurt them, but it was a short-sighted move. They felt they needed to do it, and it was the right thing to do. Now they're in the same position. They're hoping Jalen Hurd or Brandon Aiyuk or Trent Taylor steps up, and if no one does by week 7, they may have to go out and get AJ Green or whoever is available. So to me, the difference between this year and last year is that Deebo's hurt. Same guys. Deebo's hurt, plus Travis Benjamin, who I think is actually an upgrade over Marquise Goodwin. So I would say that actually entering camp, it's slightly worse. But the key point with the wide receivers is the potential, and they do have the potential to become a seriously excellent group fast. So we'll see.
And I don't even think anybody talked about Aiyuk. We got Brandon Aiyuk, so we left him out the equation there. Another guy with a lot of potential that was, I believe, was hand selected by Shanahan to be a perfect piece in his offense. So we'll see what happens with Aiyuk.
Yeah, the one thing I've seen with Aiyuk, if you watch him, he's terrific in college. But he had 2 games last year where he got shut down. Utah and Cal. the two teams in the Pac-12 that have real good defenses.
Yeah.
What Cal did was they jammed him at the line of scrimmage, and that kind of messed with him a little bit. When he gets a free release, he can take that slant to the house, but you can tie him up a little bit. You can do that with a lot of young wide receivers.
Right.
I'm curious to see how effective he'll be as a rookie, because it seems like he's going to have to be the starting split end, meaning he'll be on the line, unless that's Bourne. Because I see Bourne as more of being a slot flanker guy because he has no speed. So we'll see about him.